Your safe space for talking about UFOs, UAPs, NHI, disclosure. It's like The View, but with less Whoopi Goldberg and more Dan Cleary and Xander Jones and Powell and more UFOs. We're gonna talk to those guys in just a minute. But before we do, shout out to everybody in our chat. Welcome everyone. Great to see you all here today. Thanks for joining us on this very special last Doomer Friday of the month before we depart for the night shift away team mission to Austin, Texas for the It's Probably Nothing tour with Jesse Michaels and Chris Ramsey. It's going to be exciting. We'll be talking about all of that stuff while we're there. We'll be doing some live streams, and I don't know. We'll figure something out. It'll be fun. So shout out to everybody in our chat. Shout out to our mod squad. Great to see all of you guys. Thanks for keeping the chat safe and secure. And yeah, if you're watching at home, go to teamnightshift.com. Go to our Discord community. You'll see the link pop up in the chat from time to time. Join us there. And yeah, find a way to hang out with us because we're everywhere these days. We're all over the place. All right, let's talk to our panel. Xander Jones, Dan Cleary, Pavel. What's going on, guys?
You sound husky today.
Yeah, I'm sick.
I think
Real
it sounds
sexy.
good.
Yeah. A real beefcake. I like it.
A lot of
So The View, huh? I'm getting dreads next time.
yeah, do the
Do it. You're Whoopi, Pavel.
Yeah, I'm gonna whoop you.
You're the fun lover. No, come on, man.
Oh man, I miss you guys.
We've got the
Great
band
shows.
back together, though.
Yeah, great
We're all
shows.
back
We miss
together.
Eric always,
Yeah.
always. But that show with Danny Gollard, that was fantastic, guys. Great show.
Spicy.
You're the only person who feels that way.
Yeah,
Everybody
That
else
is not
has different
true.
opinion.
I know. I did.
It was
like
wild,
a
but it
lot.
was good.
I thought it was
good, but
great.
Yeah.
I really
The show
enjoyed it.
last week was good with Patrick. Patrick was awesome on here. You
Yeah,
guys had a
what's
great
a little bit.
conversation.
It was good too. The little that I got to see because I was really busy with home stuff. But yeah, it was good too. Yeah,
I liked his take on Bledsoe was pretty solid.
yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little clarity, when you get caught up in the woo, Patrick's always there to crack the whip and like bring you back out of it.
Yes.
He's like, hey man, come on. I was there. It was a plane. It was a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah,
what.
the laser story was pretty interesting.
Well,
it's
Bledsoe
like
asked
that-
people to stop using the laser, when the orb showed up. Interesting.
Remember the Stephen Greer video where he was like, turn off your night vision. No night vision.
Yeah. So when on my walk last night, I was thinking that exact same thing. That's a very, very similar move between the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're all here. We're here to see the thing, and if this is it, let's look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one's from the Southwest Star System. Delta.
How many star systems? Hey, are you guys? What is we're talking about this on air, but we should probably do this off air. But do you guys have plans for contact in the desert? Because I keep getting emails. It's getting closer. It's in May, right?
Mm-hmm.
28 to 1st June, I think.
We will all be there.
Yes.
I know we're going to be there.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out how that's
Still-
coming together.
Still very much a conversation I have to have with my wife. But she doesn't know yet, but she's actually seeing Jason Derulo tonight, so she's not watching right now.
Cool.
That's not even a
there's-
joke. She actually is.
It's great. It's great. You're going to want to be there, Xander. There's some
Oh,
cool
yeah, for
stuff
sure.
happening at Contact.
This is the year. This is the year for contact.
Yeah.
It's going to be the year it turns into the new Comic-Con, I think.
Damn.
I've been there twice in the last 3 years, and each year it really is getting better and better and more honed in. And
What did it feel like last time you were there?
one thing was really cool. They were doing like podcasts in the desert, so people were doing like their full podcast in this room that in front of like a live audience, and it was a blast. And just the speakers were good. I feel like it's being taken more seriously by the attendees and by the people putting it on, which is nice. It's still fun. It's still like a lot of alien merch and grays and stuff like that. But it's the panel discussions and the presenters feel a lot more serious than in the past. So it's a good sign.
How
So when you
big
said, like,
of an event?
Comic-Con, I
Say
hope
what?
that you don't mean too many people,
What?
like Comic-Con, when you said like Comic-Con,
Oh,
I-
Comic-Con is like 30 times the size of Contact
yeah,
at the
because
moment.
that really weirds me out when I can't do too many people. I get too like, whoa.
No, this where it is and the way it's laid out, it's quite manageable. It's cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I want to see if the crowd gets noticeably bigger this year. Like if you notice compared to last year, what you saw, you see like a huge jump.
I
It
wouldn't
feels
be
like
surprised.
it's really like coming through in the mainstream in a way that, like, I saw Dan Farr was on Bill Maher on his his podcast, not his
Club
network
Random.
show. Club Random. Bill Maher's show is so crazy. He just doesn't care anymore.
I love him. I'm a big fan personally.
And then was it Tom Segura and Joe Rogan the other day? This was a clip from just last week. They were like, I can't believe more people. This clip had something like 20 million views, and they were like, I can't believe more people aren't talking about UFOs. Like, shouldn't this be like a mainstream conversation? Seems like it is.
Yeah. It's definitely popping off. How was your week, Clint?
Oh, I was sick all week. I was just editing.
By the way, dude, I didn't
that
realize
trailer.
I didn't realize you dropped the actual trailer yesterday. I'm so excited for your project.
I dropped it by accident. I meant to schedule.
Did you really?
it. Yeah, it was supposed to go up at a different time on a different day. But then my kid was doing something, and I was like, and I clicked the button and it went through. But it worked out.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
it
worked
looks
out.
so good. It looks so good.
Thanks,
you
man.
got me pumped. Are you going to talk about what it is or what the plan is yet?
So Burrish is going to be a multi-part deep dive series on this just one case. I don't think I can do it in one. I looked at doing it as one big, long 2-hour thing. It was too much. I didn't think anybody would sit through that. And then I thought, well, maybe I could chop this up into smaller chapters. And that was the way that I decided to go with it. So as I've been putting it together, I'm pulling aside all of these little nuggets, and I had so many. I was like, I'm going to cut together a teaser trailer just to let people know what this thing is. And part of what I'm doing that's different about just kind of this approach is that the tools are now available to take the original drawings and sketches that Mark McCandlish and Michael Schratt did, and others. Dan did some sketches of his own, and kind of imagine those things into some kind of realistic looking form where we can sort of visualize the story a little better. So that's really what it is. It's going to be a multi-part look, sort of a documentary broken into chapters. We're going to look at Project Lotus, Project Aquarius. We're going to look at S4. We're going to look at the Papoose Lake period. We're going to look at his recruitment, how he got recruited, by who. That's a whole weird story in and of itself. The process of how he actually went to, we're talking about Dan Burrish here, how he went to the S4 facility where he did his work. He walks you through step by step how he got in the car, what the car looked like, the license plate number, the Air Force guy who pulled up in the car driving it, and then to the bus. And when they tell them, the engineers sit on that side of the bus and you guys sit in the back of the bus, they keep everybody separated. The detail. So we're going to try to go through a lot of really specific forensic details in a way that's much more interesting.
Let's
than just
watch the
watching.
trailer.
Watch the trailer, please. Yeah.
Yeah, play the trailer.
In 1986, I was approached while working as an undergraduate student. 3 gentlemen walked into the laboratory, closed the door behind them. We spoke for a while. They asked me if I was interested in seeing the world and the like. Told them I, in fact, was. Starting up 1991 timeframe, I was cleared for working the Papoose Mountain facility. That place that doesn't exist, 90 miles north of here. The nowhere place. I would hear them call pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. And you can't do anything without being watched in this facility. Nothing. He says, gentlemen, if you wander outside those red lines, they will shoot you. You're here to do the best job that's possible for any human being. Get it done. We were suited up. We were pressurized. My original feeling was I was looking at a giant insect. This thing was an extraterrestrial, but it wasn't an alien. the human did not survive. I was always told that monsters weren't real.
God damn!
Holy hell, bro.
That's
Holy
nice.
hell.
That's nice.
Thanks, guys. It's
Solid
bonkers.
as fuck, dude.
It's bonkers. It's going to be good. And I need to. We'll talk more off air about this, but I need to bring you guys into it.
I feel like
I've been waiting. I have to admit as well. I've made one of my favorite tracks that is waiting for this documentary to be released.
Oh,
Yeah,
The whole Dan Burrish theme.
I've got it. It's going to be in the
good.
in the full length. It was too long for
I
the
can't
trailer.
wait.
I needed a tight.
Oh yeah,
minute.
yeah, for sure.
What I like about it, Clint, is I can tell that you're making the series that you would want to watch. You know
Yes,
what I mean? Yeah.
it's so good. Well, and I'm going to bring George Knapp into it. In fact, that's actually something that I want to. I need to figure out how I'm going to do that because I have this really great clip from Contact last year where he addresses this, and I want to find the original article that he wrote
From 04.
And, yeah, I found it. I have a copy of it, but I don't have the original copy, and I'm looking for that. I'm trying to get a copy of the original print, or a scan of it, something like that. So anyway, it's an ongoing project, but it's coming soon.
Exciting, man.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
So what do you guys think about this Dorito? You following?
I
this
think it's really fun. It's pretty cool looking. Can we show it?
thing?
Yeah.
What's the
I
backstory?
watched it in. So Anders runs Uncanny Expeditions. He basically travels the whole area in his. Now he's got an actual bus that looks like the white bus that goes into Area 51. It's awesome. He's converted it, and he basically just documents all these different areas around the American Southwest. And he caught. I even messaged him. I said, "I think you've just made history, because this is like a genuine. No matter how you look at it, what he captured was really like a genuine, classified thing for sure."
Yeah.
No
Did
doubt.
he talk about how he captured it? What specific techniques he used?
He recently bought loads of night vision gear, so he's got some pretty high end night vision stuff now.
Can we show this clip? You got it there?
Yeah, I have the clip I have queued up is actually not just the craft, but also the radio chatter, which I don't think you've heard, Clint.
No.
Which I thought was just as interesting as the craft itself.
Yep.
It was caught by the legendary, what's it called, Dreamland Resort, the guy that lives next to Area 51. And he basically listens in on a nightly basis. And this radio transmission that he caught, he said he'd never heard anything like that before. And he's been there for like 20 years at this point. I think he's German. He moved there like 20 years ago. Runs a website, documents loads of stuff. But yeah, he caught this radio chatter. So I wanted to play with the radio chatter because I just thought it was really interesting. So let's play it. Hold on a second. Hold on to your butts. Here we go.
Channels.
Checking in. Angels 369 for system 380. Start point, we'll hold there. Oh, one more count check. Barely readable. If you could just try this one more time and then change the transmitter. Bigger. Still on parrot for aerial. Parrot. Aerial copies pretzel snack 5500. Aerial is ready. Profile natural and earliest start time 0816 at start point. And aerial has
So what you see on the left there is a B-2 Spirit that flew by earlier in the night, and I think he's showing that so that you can see there's a huge difference in the silhouette of the thing.
Yeah.
If you zoom in,
And,
have
and
a look.
also the contrail is different too.
Yes. Yeah, but what you'll notice in the chatter is they're talking about like food. I think they literally just said either Dorito or burrito.
He said pretzel too.
Pretzel, yeah. They talk about loads of different food stuff. We'll keep playing.
expecting next run will be bush. Confirm run, preparing profile bush. Aerial. Conditions bush. Aerial, just confirm that next profile will be Corona. Pretzel, snacks, 0 with cheese. Corona. On conditions of profile Corona.
Pretzel snack
Seconds.
0 with cheese.
7-1, 5 seconds. 7-1, pretzel stick in the green. And we'll continue to racetrack hold, Ariella. Well, just to confirm, we can expect Michelob with garlic next. Don't extend here on the
Garlic.
racetrack. Let us know when you're about ready. And preparing profile Michelob. Imperial. Chins profile Michelob. Confirm Imperial with garlic next. Ariel. Just stand by real quick. We have to fridge shut for a moment, and we might spin here. We'll let you know. Receiving indications of a fridge warm from last. We are fridge, hydrate, and turning back in. 7-1 on conditions. Imperial with garlic. 60 seconds. 5 seconds. Good check. Copy end run, pretzel warm, and we'll go start run next when we get there for Imperial with garlic. Yeah, ram from 7-1. We have a fridge warm again, so we're going to cut less of a corner here, and then just confirm this next run. Imperial is with garlic, So 370. Please stand by. 60 seconds. Our fridge is hydrating. Is 2 Mike, sorry. Ariel 7-1 on conditions. 7-1, 30 seconds. Stick. 7-1 into the hold. The profile chocolate, no pretzel. Fridge is hydrate and standby 1. Fridge stocked, 1 Mike. Should have no issue with hydrate. Hydrate turning in to start chocolate.
How weird is that?
I heard Big Bush, Michelob, Areola, chocolate pretzel.
You had me a big bush.
Something,
That was really interesting.
right?
All I'm thinking is I'm having a fun time in my head, but when he says pretzel, no pretzel, that's when I feel like he says no propulsion, turn the propulsion off. And he says with garlic, with gravity, without garlic, no gravity.
Ooh.
I don't know. Having fun here, guys.
Just having fun.
It makes
Well,
sense.
I
It
did
makes sense.
speak to Gerb about this, and because I thought maybe they're just testing like a new coating, and the airframe is just, it's a cool airframe, but they're just testing like a weird stealth coating. And he was of the opinion they absolutely wouldn't put anything in the air unless they absolutely had to. They have ways of testing like radar
Aerodynamic.
signatures, and aerodynamics and stuff. So it was in the air to test the airframe. That's what his opinion was, and he also said like that just because we see contrails doesn't necessarily mean it's only using conventional propulsion, because there's the whole theory that the B2 actually uses the Byfield Brown effect to reduce its mass, and this thing looks kind of cool. Like, I don't know, maybe
It's very cool.
yeah, very very cool.
And there's no confusion. That is absolutely a triangle-shaped craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been seen twice before. There's a picture taken, one in Texas, and I think
yeah.
I can't remember where the other one was. There's another state, but identical.
Have you
Decades
seen
apart.
this? I posted it on the Team Night Shift subreddit, and it's this interview with the guy who was a model maker for one of the Disney movies, and he talks about the Roswell craft and what the original. I'm going to send this to you in the private chat, Sandra. You can take a look. We could show this video. It's just this guy talking for like 5 minutes. I sent it to Luigi Ventitelli from Project Gravatar, and he wrote me back. He's like, I have that model. And then I was like, really? And he sends me a video in his office, and he's got, but this is an advanced, it's not a disc, for one thing. That was the original misconception that this guy's trying to clear up. It was an advanced triangular-shaped craft with this sort of neural interface, like built into the actual material of the craft. You got that video there? Can you share it?
I do. Yeah.
This is it's 2 minutes long. It's totally worth it.
authentic model based on the recovered Roswell craft.
In 1993, I was hired as the concept designer to the movie Roswell, and after completing that assignment, I decided to find out what the real spacecraft and the real bodies looked like, having nothing to do with the film. My research took me into a 4-year journey of interviewing military officers and other researchers who supplied with me the data that I needed to do full forensic composites of what the flight crew and the spacecraft looked like that crashed at Roswell on July 4th, 1947 at 11 o'clock in the evening. Much to my surprise, it was not a disc. It was a winged vehicle, a wave rider, one of those lifting body, transatmospheric, high-speed recon type of vehicles. It was amazing what we came up with. It was extremely unique. We found out many years later that everybody, including Ben Rich, knew that this vehicle had been the design Rosetta Stone, the holy grail of aerospace designs. We found that inside this vehicle had microprocessors that looked like the neuroganglia tissue that you see in a human brain. The entire vehicle was found to have biomorphic characteristics, those being called biomimetic or biomimicry. This vehicle, when by itself, exhibited artificial intelligence, but when you plugged all 7 flight crew members into all 7 flight crew stations, you had an interface between their physical bodies and the neurological structure of the spacecraft, which was exotic metal and non-organic components, mostly crystalline metals in exotic mixtures. That way, the vehicle became, in essence, akin to a living being with multiple brain nodes.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? I hadn't heard that before.
Very
It's
interesting.
always the shape of the Roswell craft has always puzzled me personally. Like the fact that it has it. It's not the first time I've seen like the winged look, and I've heard that it did influence loads of stealth tech and stuff. I've never made that make sense. If it came from, I don't know, off planet or something, I don't know.
Well, maybe the only thing that I could think of was that maybe when it did crash, the cover story was that it was a disc. That's the thing they put out first. Oh, it's a disc. It wasn't a disc. It was something completely different than a disc. And they wanted people to think that, maybe to throw them off. And then there was confusion around this. Just interesting that he said Ben Rich kind of knew that this would be the holy grail of aircraft design for like the next century.
What do you guys think about Tom DeLonge saying it's German? Do you think that was misinformation he was given?
The Roswell craft was like
Yes.
German manufacture?
He said that, yeah, on Joe Rogan.
I would say no. I would lean towards no. I mean, all you hear from people, and like, you know, you got Hal kind of confirming that the crash. I guess he just confirmed the crash happened, right?
Yeah, that's all he said. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I think Grush all but said it was definitely non-human intelligence. He didn't name Roswell, but everyone knew what he was talking about.
Do you guys know what oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys know what a horseshoe crab looks like? That craft looks like a horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
Kind of weird shape.
It kind of.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sad news! Breaking news.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Ooh, Catherine O'Hara's died.
Really sad.
Catherine O'Hara, Home Alone,
Beetlejuice,
Schitt's Creek.
Oh, that's awful.
She was wonderful.
She was a fox in Beetlejuice. Oh my God, had a Catherine O'Hara thing.
Yeah,
for a
rest
while.
in peace, Catherine O'Hara.
And you know, hey, this is something else I have to mention since we're on celebrity news for a brief beat. Phil Collins' birthday today.
Awesome.
January 3rd. Phil Collins, by the way, people laugh. Phil Collins was played the drums so hard that he literally ruined his spinal cord, and he now needs full-time care. He has like an injury just from playing the drums.
Yep.
It's
and he wrote
unbelievable.
some incredible songs.
Yeah, man.
Incredible.
January 30th, 1951. Phil Collins.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So I guess no Catherine O'Hara for the live stream next week?
Yeah. We'll have to call Corey Feldman, see if we can get him.
Dude, I almost killed Corey Feldman on Friday night.
In
I
real
couldn't
life?
do the stream yes. I couldn't do the stream last week because I had to work a gig at this thing called NAMM, which is like a musical vendors, like a CES type thing in Anaheim, where everyone brings all their new guitars and amps and audio gear and lights. And I worked a gig that was like a jam night there. And Corey Feldman was there just watching the jam night. I was trying to rush through the backstage area to get somewhere, and I hit him so hard, I bowled him over. I almost knocked him like into next week, one of those things. It was kind of hilarious, but I felt bad. But yeah, I almost killed Corey Feldman last week.
Wow. So did you like? Were you guys cool after you?
No, I just kept walking.
Just kept walking. Corey,
You gotta show me, you gotta show him who's
classic
boss,
Dan.
man. Yeah,
Classic
I love-
Dan.
You gotta
I love
humble a
Corey
guy most sometimes. Me too. Me too.
he was in the Burbs.
He was in everything.
It's in everything. Frog Brothers, man.
I recently
Truth,
rewatched Dream a Little Dream. Remember that?
Dream a Little
With him
Dream.
and Jeremy Irons. Yeah, good stuff.
Corey, it's interesting. Corey Feldman is not doing more stuff. I would have thought for sure they would have put him in Stranger Things. Like it was,
Oh, that would have been great casting.
right. Like, why would you not put him in there?
That could have been like a career restarter.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Are you watching anything good right now? What are you watching?
I'm
Whoa.
finishing up that Welcome to Derry, the It
Oh,
series
that's
on
good.
HBO.
It's a bit
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
bit gory for my taste, but it's good.
Yeah, very very good.
Yeah. I just finished Pluribus. I was
I
behind
bailed.
a little bit on it.
I watched the
It's
first
good.
couple and I'm like, I don't like this.
Interesting.
I'm working my way through Fallout right now.
Heard
Oh,
great things.
I'm watching Fallout 2. That's right.
Fallout's good. You know what I miss though? I miss. I was going on this kick the other day, and it was something in the Discord. I was talking to Mr. Justin, and we were doing like movies or something. He was like, "I've got the day free or something. I need movies to watch." And I was sending him all these old movies that I just thought were great from back in the day. And you know what? It occurred to me that there was a rhythm to storytelling that came in the movie format that I grew up with that is no longer a relevant thing anymore. And I feel like so fucking exhausted by entertainment today because they go on forever. There's never any resolution. Let me give you an example. This is a perfect example. Stranger Things started, what year was that? 2016?
10? Oh, was it that? Okay.
10 years ago? What, 9 years ago? In the time that Stranger Things started, I moved cities twice. I traveled around the world. I started a family. My child grew up. He's 4 years old, and we're just now at the end of this show. And it took all this time. I just missed that. You dip in, you dip out for like 2 hours. You have a really entertaining, 90 minutes, whatever. And now I feel like everything's so spread out. It's like Fallout's going to go on for 10 more years. Every show I like, if I like the first episode, I know I'm making like a multi-year commitment to this thing.
Yeah.
And then the worst is when you're like 3 seasons deep into something and you're waiting for it to resolve, and then they just cancel the show and they're like, sorry, there's no resolution.
Oh, that's always a bummer.
Yeah.
With no resolution. Yep.
There was a show on Amazon called Raised by Wolves, and it was
Oh,
so.
man.
Did you see
I was
this
just
show?
thinking that. I was just thinking that. Dude, first season is wild. Second season, they botched it, to be honest with you. I didn't like it. But the first season is one of the best I've ever seen. It's so good. So good.
It was like this. The story was like this planetary conflict between AI and humans, and the AI leaves and starts its own civilization on this distant planet, and then some of the humans show up later, but they're all like super religious, like fundamentalist, sort of like conquistadors.
You know
It's
what they
kinda
call
like-
their god?
Soul.
Yeah.
It was the sun guy. They had the sun thing. Yeah.
Cute little guy. Look at him. Look at the cute little guy.
Oh my God. It's a good show. But then they canceled it. And you're like, what? I was, I'm 3 years into this thing.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Network?
Love Network.
I saw it for the first time last week. I loved it.
So
The
Not the
idea of
social
the
network, right?
super
No,
elite. What's that?
Not the social network, right?
No, it's called It's called Network. It's 1976, and it's about a news network where they like the exploitation of news media, and then you end up seeing like what is behind the beast that is news media. It's really fitting
I
for
just had a conversation before this show where I was told about that film, so that's weird.
really.
Yeah.
That's
There's
so
a-
watch
Got
net.
it
Then
off
you need
record.
to watch Network.
Yeah.
There's some really famous scenes in there that when you get to them, they're so good. That boardroom scene.
Yep. Oh my
Oh,
God. Yeah. Ned
it's
Beatty.
Well, that's what I kind of mean, right? Like there was a, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like there's just no cinema experience really left anymore. Like that's kind of gone. The
Very
idea
few.
that you anticipate a movie for weeks or months, right? Like you see a trailer and then you're like building it up in your mind, and then you maybe get some friends, you go sit down in the theater, you really get into it. They really are so rare now that happens, particularly
Mhm.
with like anything original. Everything it's all streaming, and it's just overwhelming.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. I want to give props to Pavel. Put out 2 great videos yesterday, and I really loved the. I could listen to Rogan tell that story about his dream for hours. I'm so interested in that experience he had. I hadn't
Apparently
seen the
did a
new clip.
180.
What is this?
Mhm. You didn't
What
hear about
dream?
Rogan's dream?
180.
No, what dream?
What? You haven't
We
seen
should-
it?
No,
Oh
I
my
was
God.
sick all day. I was
No.
mainlining Theraflu and
This is from weeks ago, though.
I think you said this was yesterday.
He was talking to Brett Weinstein, Eric's brother. And at the very start of the show, it seemed like Joe just wanted to get it out because he had just dreamt it. He dreamt of people with sort of really tall and kind of bald, and they looked kind of humanoid, but they had big eyes. And they were sort of messing with him, trying to scare him in the dream. He was in a hallway of sorts, and they
With
were
weird
like, "Oh,
lighting.
yeah." And he talked about that they were sort of uh, interacting with some kind of a reptilian being that was like in the water, really weird. And he talked about it, and it felt really similar to a lot of these. Also, a lot of people think they're dreams, but then there's a lot of people that do regressions that now make them change their minds that it's not really a dream, that it was like
Like
sort of like an OBE contact experience. That's what it sort of feels like, right?
he was really
So
shook by it.
yeah, and he
That's
talked
interesting.
to Jesse about it in more detail in the
Yep.
show where he visited American Alchemy. And yesterday he spoke to Bert Kreischer. That's how you pronounce it. The other
Kreischer.
Yeah.
comedian.
Right.
Yeah,
Pressure.
they're really good friends, and they talked about it because Bert was really curious about it. And it seems like Joe doesn't think it's a dream anymore. At first, he thought that it was, but now he's like, I'm not sure it's a dream anymore, man. It's sort of feels like they try to make contact with me or something like that.
But it was
And
scary.
it
I mean,
was,
he was literally saying that whatever these beings were, they were telling him that like there's this threat to humans that's just like it's just right there, and there's this barrier that's keeping these reptilian type things from getting to us, that these beings are trying to protect us from, but that the barrier is not very secure. That like we don't realize how much danger we're kind of in from these things that are trying to get to us. And Joe said it was the most real feeling he's ever had, and it's just he couldn't go back to sleep. But yeah, at first he was like, "It's a dream," but it was just a weird dream. But I couldn't go back to sleep, which never happens to him. And I guess now he's starting to feel more and more like it was something else. But the way he tells it is fascinating.
yep.
Are you ready
I
for
swear
me to
this isn't.
put the
this
Dan
isn't some
Burch spin
strange.
on this?
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
I have it. I can connect this back to Dan Burch directly. I can draw a straight line.
BBB, bring it back to Bursch.
Uh,
Damn.
I'll do it in 3 minutes or less. When in one of the many hours of interviews that I've been going through to just research this project, one of the conversations that he has, and he has this conversation, he has it more than once, but one particular thread that they drill down on is what exactly is the threat? Like, what is the issue? What's going to happen? That's the calamity that we have to watch out for. And according to Burrish, the Einstein-Rosen bridge, the ERBs, these are the wormholes, the wormhole technology that they have developed that is based on non-human or extraterrestrial technology. They've got these wormholes that they can build in the lab. They can turn them on. They can link 2 of them together, entangle them, and then they can send information back and forth. And they've tried sending people through, but they've killed the guy that they've tried to send through, at least at the time. So that's the technology. He says that basically the Earth, our solar system, is moving through a particular period in space where all of the stargates, both natural and man-made, are expected to open. And when they do, it's uncontrollable what happens next. It's just unknowable. So the Majestic 12 assignment that he was part of was tasked with trying to basically disable or turn off all these stargates around the world. And that was one of the things that they were concerned about. Something coming through and causing this huge catastrophe.
Well, that sounds kind of similar.
Makes you think in the early 2000s when they invaded Iraq, and makes you think right now how they're trying to like basically invade Iran, and then there's a lot of, the cradle of civilization, of this civilization, is right there, right? So
Ancient Persia,
makes you,
right?
makes you wonder.
How much? For sure, there are artifacts that were taken. Well, we know that ISIS went through Iraq and destroyed tons of archaeological treasures. They went through museums. They blew them up. They destroyed statues, all kinds of shit. And I know that there was a big effort underway by a lot of different governments around the world to get in there and get this stuff out. It wouldn't shock me if they were also smuggling out all kinds of other stuff too. What was that? What was that movie with George Clooney, Three Kings, where they go in and they just try to steal all Saddam's gold in the Gulf War?
Was that good? I don't remember. Was that good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Marky
Was
Mark.
it Wahlberg? Yeah, Marky Mark.
Marky Mark's in it. Supposedly, yeah, the Stargate technology has something to do with ancient cylinder seals, some of which were found in Iraq, some of which American Special Forces were sent in to recover, extract, and bring back. And those cylinder seals contain the secret to the Stargate technology that allows the people in charge of the Majestic program to see possible futures of various probabilities and then make adjustments based on what they see. That's what's going on, according to Dan B.
That's the lore. That's the lore.
That's the lore. Hey, but this is interesting. I got to send this to you, Xander, for this link here. Hang on, I'm going to send this to you. Bank of England. Have you guys seen this? Bank of England must plan for financial crisis sparked by aliens.
I've been talking to Helen for a little bit. She's part of that article.
What's she got
She
to
wants
say?
she wants to because she said there on that article that she's not going to go on any UFO podcasts, but she explained to me why she's doing that, and it makes total sense. Like, because she's part of the financial system apparatus. She no longer works there, but she was part of it for a long time.
So you're talking
And
about, for people who don't know, Helen McCaw, right?
Helen McCaw. Yeah.
Tell people who she is and why she's important.
She's a former Bank of England employee, and she's part of the UFO community. I believe she's an experiencer as well, and she did an interview with the Times from the UK where she spoke about the potential scenario of how the financial system could be affected by disclosure, and it's just like a scenario type of type of thing that it's not like it's going to happen, but it's okay to be to prevent something or to be prepared for it. And I think it's a really smart thing to do. I do. And she did say in that interview where she spoke about this and all the potential scenarios, and where she tried to alert directly the Bank of England. She wrote a paper on the Soul Foundation that is really interesting, that we can link in the description as well. It's free for everyone. And I asked her, I was like, so you're not going on any of these podcasts? She was like, this needs to really go directly to mainstream, because if it's even remotely possible that it does affect the financial system, the biggest institutions need to be completely aware of it. And if you go through the UFO podcast circuit, as still stigmatized as it is, it wouldn't have the impact that it should have. So, and it makes total sense to me, to be honest with you. I have no quarrels with that at all. Eventually, I would think that she is going to probably talk to some of the most important podcasts about it, because I think she should. But the first steps are going to be trying to hit the mainstream. And I think that's the way to do it.
Do you think that, did you get any sense from her when you talked to her that this was based on something she felt was more likely now than it was 6 months or 12 months ago?
She didn't give me that impression. She just like she wants to be ahead of the game if it happens, if anything happens. But she didn't give me the impression that she knew something was going to happen, or that she had any inside information. Maybe she does, but she didn't give me that feeling. To be honest with you, and I did try to, you know, ask a few questions, but no, she didn't give me that feeling, and she doesn't feel like somebody who would hide that kind of stuff. She's been very transparent every time we've interacted, and I do trust her smarts into it. I mean, she worked there for decades, so she knows the
Not that,
landscape.
not that. What's her name again? Sorry.
Helen McCall.
Not that Helen is one of these people, but there's a few people that when they've talked about, something happening in the future, I always feel like they are all talking about something very specific. Because like you've got all the other people making predictions like Greer and Bledsoe, and they're kind of like stood on their own, and there's nobody really backing them up. But it seems to me like there is one big rumor going round behind the scenes that no one's talked about. I don't know this rumor, and I really wish I did, but I feel like it's the same one that Leslie Keane has talked about, that Lou Elizondo has talked about. I'm sure there are others as well, but I feel like out of all of the different rumors that are going around, there's that. I think those are that's the one that's connecting a lot of different people at the moment. They might have all been fed the same BS. I don't know. It could be circular reporting as well.
I
feel like there's a truth in that bit right now.
I think you just nailed it. I 100% think that's exactly what's going on. Because remember, just a few short months ago, we were talking about Matthew Pines and David Grush having these private meetings in New York City with these hedge fund venture capitalists and tech valley billionaire people. Like, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what I said then. And it makes perfect sense. The fact that you're seeing the Bank of England just even make contingency adjustments for something like this, they have to acknowledge it.
Dude, Matthew just came in like a hurricane and did all he does, like made all these predictions that are like, there's always a tweet for something that happens that Matthew made years ago. And I get really freaked out. I tried to get him on the show again, and he's like now focused on other things, but he already like made all this damage, with those predictions. And it's really weird that he nailed a lot of them. Really strange.
So let's go through a couple of them. What are the top 2 or 3 that jump to mind for you?
The one that you talked about here, that it was like the Grok, the UAP, and something along those lines. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Grok, the UAP, this was a cryptic thing.
Yeah, there's a couple more about war that he made that were very specific, and they did come to fruition. And he always he does this that kind of pisses me off a little bit, to be honest with you, where something happens and he always puts the little eyes and retweets that old tweet. And it's like, dude.
Classic Pines.
What are you doing?
Vintage Pines.
That's vintage Pines.
Yeah. And the only one that hasn't been fulfilled, and we got to say this, is the coup de grace. And he said in an interview that disclosure, there was going to be like an already pre-recorded interview that is already there. It already happened, that he calls the coup de grace of disclosure. And he said that it was somebody who you would know for sure, because if you watch the news, you know who it is. And so far, I don't think it has happened, because I asked him if it was Clapper from Age of Disclosure. I thought it was Clapper for the longest time. And he said no. So that potential interview is still there. It still hasn't aired as far as I'm concerned. And he's no longer like even involved in the topic anymore. He's like building his own company, and I think it has to do with crypto or something like that. And
It's
I asked him for an
stuff.
interview. He's like, I'm gonna focus on building my company. I want to respectfully decline, and I wish you well in your future endeavors. He told me, and he's just like completely disconnected from.
So what was all that about then? Do you think that they got to him, or do you think he just kind of popped in, did his job, and then
I don't know.
left?
I don't know. Anything I say would be speculation, so
Sure.
I rather not say anything about that.
He was an interesting case for sure.
Yeah.
Well, so is there any latest, well, what is the latest news, if any, with Skywatcher? Has anybody heard anything from these guys?
There was an interview with Reed Summers that he did with James Fowler, where they talked about the dog whistle in more detail, the classification system. Fowler revealed that a lot of that came from the UAP task force, which is news. I didn't know that. And they talked about a lot of technical stuff that I think it's important to have conversations about that. Summers is having like a UAP summit is called.
Yep.
I'm sure he reached out to a lot of us.
It's really weird. I have the website pulled up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go there.
And I like that. They're going to talk about science, which is something that is quite needed in this space, I think.
Reed is the most clear speaker on this subject. There is no confusion about the way that he addresses it. He's direct. He's like straight to the point. Everything he says makes sense to me. You know,
Great
the whole
communicator.
concept. He's a great communicator, and he's really pulled this amazing group together. He said he's been working on this. I talked to him a couple days ago, and he said he's been working on this with a team of like 12 or 15 people pulling this together. But Burleson, Gary Nolan, James Fowler, Beatrice is in there. I mean, like the speaker list is crazy. Ryan Graves, let's see, Richard Dolan's in there. And yeah,
Dude,
this is
go up.
Eamon Ansbro.
No, up a little bit more. Adam Yingling is going to be there. That's an interesting one because I asked about this guy. He's the guy that Patrick reported on Vetted, the NASA guy that allegedly saw a landing.
Oh, that's the guy?
That's the guy.
Oh.
And when I asked about him, I asked if it was like, is he like a Tim Taylor type of, or something like that? And the person that I asked who would know, they told me, yeah, there are a number of people that are very similar to Tim
That work for the Hammer.
that people don't know about. And Adam could be one of those guys. And I'm going to be very interested to see what he has to say. And he's been seeing out my messages on LinkedIn. He doesn't respond to any of them, but I've been messaging the guy, hoping he can answer at some point. But we're finally going to get to see him on this summit, and I've been wanting to hear from him. And I hope they ask him about this alleged landing that happened. With
They have
Skywatcher.
to. If they don't, that's a huge miss. That's.
Well, I
if you
think
ask him
Reed's
one question, it's that.
It's Reed, and he's moderating, and then I think who else is there? Matt Ford is going to be talking a little bit, and then
We met Kevin Wright in Washington in
Yes.
the line. Yeah,
What's he do?
I think he was there with the NPI at the Washington thing, but I don't think he's there for them at this summit.
Is he a line cutter? Did he cut the line?
He did cut the line.
Hey, how do we feel about Michael Bautista going on Gaia and doing the hypnosis thing? Thoughts?
No, man.
Well, I think I have my answers.
Yeah.
well, what did he do on Gaia? Like, what do you mean? I haven't seen this. Went on Gaia and did the hypnosis thing.
I just watched there's a clip that was on. I don't know if the whole thing's out yet or not, but
Cosmic Judas posted a clip, right?
Is that what I don't know where I saw it, but yeah.
Like
But
the UFO meme page on X that posts a lot of shit posting. And
But that is real. That happened, right? Did that happen?
But but I did post, and this is something that we've been talking about online, that Gaia kind of feels like a honeypot operation to lose credibility on purpose, you know?
Gaia's unbelievable. It's
It
so
feels like
lame.
that.
You should hear. Oh my god. No, Gaia's awful. Not everything though. Not everything.
No, like Richard Dolan goes in there, does cool stuff sometimes. You know, there's
Yeah.
exceptions, but overall, it feels like what all of our like what my right wing dad thinks everyone in LA is like. Do you know what I mean? These spiritual, just like very, very woo stuff.
They just take it doesn't matter what you have to say. They just take it at face value.
Yes.
And just run with it. Darcy Weir he fucking puts them on blast all the time.
He's great. He's great at calling people out for that shit.
He did a documentary on those guys. He went through the whole history of Gaia and like how it all started. It's
his Dark Alliance two films are fantastic.
Dark Alliance. Love that name.
Yeah. I think one of the problems on Gaia is like you will have they have obviously that Corey Good was heavily involved in Gaia for a long time, and then obviously had to admit under oath that he made basically everything up.
Yep.
And then, but the story remains on Gaia as something that we can still talk about, but we know for a fact that it was admitted to be fiction.
It's factual.
But it's so interesting that we just have to talk about it. It's like you need to kind of make that disclaimer, like this is a lie.
Right.
The foundation of this is a lie. There might well be like really cool info that links to original lore
entertainment.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is entertainment. It's not real.
They love a starseed on Gaia. They really do.
They love a starseed.
They love a starseed.
Well,
oh my god, starseed.
I saw so on Gaia they love the secret space program on Gaia, and when I was doing the secret,
pretty cool, to be honest.
It's awesome. But I was doing the secret space program series, and one of the episodes I was doing was on the people that are alleged to have been one of these secret space program like officers, astronauts, and Corey Good being one of them. And I tried to frame the episode like, okay, we know this guy exists from the beginning. We know that this guy lied. But there are these other people around him that have never said that their stories aren't true, but that they all say that they were also part of the secret space program, and some of them came before Corey Good, and I was trying my best to take it seriously. And then one of them said that way back in the day, he shared a bunk with Barack Obama, who was also in the secret space program. And at that point, I'd spent half a day on writing the episode, and I was just like, I'm not going to write this episode. I'm done. Yeah, I changed it. I had 2 more days left until I had to publish something, and then I did the Black Budget episode instead, and it was actually based on something I could have legitimately put out without being embarrassed.
I can't wait for your Space Obama episode.
You bailed?
Probably the most accurate like explanation of if there is a secret space program came from Rich Dolan, and he's the one who explains it in the most sober fashion. If it does exist, I would think that one person who would know about it and what it actually is would be Tim Taylor. Would you guys agree?
Sure.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people
yeah.
know about it. I'm on board with it. I'm very much on board with it being a real thing.
I think it's,
But
I'm
not as
all in.
fantastical as they painted, right?
I think there's
Maybe
some
I think it is,
core. There's,
Really?
I think there's.
That's crazy.
I think there are some core parts. So Gary McKinnon, 100%. I believe that guy, and he said he saw a list of non-terrestrial officers, and it named a few ships, I believe. But that's a great core story. But then somebody else will get a hold of it, like a journalist, and then he will slap the name Solar Warden on it, and then all of these other people come out the woodwork, like, I know Solar Warden, I was on Solar Warden too. And it's like, Gary McKinnon, completely legit, never said the word Solar Warden, but now he's associated with Solar Warden because somebody included him and the phrase Solar Warden in one article. So it's like it all gets conflated, but I do believe that there is something there for sure.
And that's
I do not believe that in the 20 and back, I don't believe in that shit, but I do believe that we have definitely explored some of the solar system, or at least our galaxy. I do think that is I would say it's of high probability that is real.
High confidence, as some say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you have to believe that if at any level you think it's likely that we did recover alien technology, I mean, after 70 years, if we don't have something better than a rocket to show for it, that would be really embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like with unlimited budget and all of the things. By the way, you know who reached out to me? Remember the James Fox press event at the press club a couple days ago? The Colonel Paper Trail, the guy,
Nice,
the Air Force colonel who was like at least 40.
The old timer.
He emailed me.
What?
I told you guys. I told you in the chat. Yeah. He wrote me. He said,
I missed that.
You called me Colonel Paper Trail. He gave me a big laugh. I thought that was hilarious. And I said, if you went to pick up his daughter on a date and he answered the door, that's the last person you want to see answering the door. But he I think felt he was responding to the fact that I was thrilled to hear someone talk about receipts. It was nice to hear someone say, if you have all these things, right? If you've got you can't have a secret space program without a support apparatus. You need technicians, you need engineers, you need people who can bend metal, you need people who can put fuel in, move shit around, logistical support. You need all the associated
hundreds or thousands of people. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's an enormous footprint, and there's no way to hide it. There can't be, if you know where to look and if you know how to look. But I just don't think they really want to find it. I don't think anybody's really looking.
Remember,
what will be interesting?
Go
on. I'll just be quick. The one thing that I will be quite interested in, we have the Artemis missions coming up. The first one, the astronauts have just gone into quarantine, and obviously our cameras are quite a bit better now, and they're going to be doing the slingshotting around the moon, aren't they? Mm-hmm. And one of the big things of secret space program has always been the moon, the lunar base on the dark side. So if they're publicizing this trip in the way that they have the technology to do now, obviously they can't necessarily transmit from behind the moon in real time. Maybe they can these days, I don't know. But we might be able to get some like actual high definition 4K footage.
You want to bet that the feed cuts off?
Something like that, yeah.
But they'll still be recording in there. And I also wonder if the people on the ship are told ahead of time.
That's the thing.
By the way, you might see this thing. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's probably nothing. Yeah,
probably nothing.
Right. Little plug.
Nice promo.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It says February 6th is the launch of Artemis 2, and they're going to conduct the lunar flyby, and then in mid-2027, Artemis 3 launches to land astronauts on the moon, specifically near the lunar South Pole.
And we haven't landed on the moon since 72? Is that the last time that we were on the moon?
It does seem odd, right? Yeah. This is why this one little question is why I'm so all in on secret space program, because I don't think we ever did stop.
That and the propulsion aspect of it too, that I can't believe that the fastest plane still recorded is the SR-71. That shit like got retired in 1977 or 78, something like that.
Right.
And we haven't gotten anything faster since, or something newer. That's weird.
I mean, I was reminded within the last 3 days that what the U.S. government has in its arsenal is 40 years ahead of what we currently are aware of, and tech that we understand. Where they're 40 years ahead behind the scenes.
There was a weird, I'm not a huge fan of Palmer Luckey, but he did a TED Talk recently where he talked about the strategic blunder that the United States made in buying all those really expensive weapon systems. He's like, look, we have the most powerful advanced weapons in the world, but no one knows how to fucking fix them. No one knows how to build them. It takes years to make this shit. It costs so much money. Adversarial nations like China, what they're making is just tens of millions of drones. They're going to fucking just swamp you with so many drones. None of those weapons will really matter. And that's what his company, I guess, is proposing to solve. They're going to fill that munitions gap. They're like, drones are the new sort of rifles. And I don't know, man. I don't know. We have the most advanced stuff, but if you never use it, or maybe we do. I mean, what do you think about all this stuff that just came out about the Havana Syndrome weapon that supposedly was acquired by DHS that had Russian components in it, the size of a backpack.
What do you got, Pavel? What's that all about?
Supposedly, it's like, dude, come on, you've had that shit for decades now.
Isn't that a weird way of phrasing it, though? They're like, it's not Russian, but it has Russian stuff in it. Why would you say it that way?
It runs on vodka. That's what it is. He poured it in like an old lawnmower. Yeah.
It's just an odd, it's like one of those weird stories that just sort of came out of nowhere. They were like, oh yeah, when they went in and got Maduro, the first thing happened was everything turned off. Like all their shit just shut off. Interesting. And then he said the soldiers that came out, it was a few helicopters. This is that story that leaked supposedly, or was published by a supposed security guard who was there, one of the security detail. And he was like, then the Americans showed up in like 8 helicopters. It wasn't even a lot. And then when they got out of the helicopters, they were shooting. He's like, it was as if they were shooting 300 rounds a second.
That was all bullshit.
And our ears were exploding, and blood was shooting out of our nose. We were vomiting blood. That sounded like bullshit. It just didn't sound like
that was American military
propaganda.
like word propaganda bullshit. I think.
Yeah,
that.
But Trump did mention the discombobulator.
What the fuck is the discombobulator? I heard that.
Is that what they used on the crowd in Minnesota recently?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
They used a direct energy weapon on one of the protests.
You can see the people going like, "What is that?" And it doesn't pick it up. Like the microphone of the camera doesn't pick it up, but the people go like, "Whoa, what is that?"
And I showed you guys. I have
similar
a device
to the microwave weapon, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, the microwave one burns you, right? Like it makes you feel like you're on fire, even though you're not. Right? There's no damage.
Yeah. I gotta get
allegedly no damage.
You
are being cooked from the inside.
Get one of those.
So that's the question I have: is this active denial sort of like less lethal shit that DHS is using on civilians here in the United States? Because that's totally normal and not weird at all.
That was
is that related to Havana syndrome? Are we talking about the same thing here?
Something that was weird about that is the Cuban soldiers that were like the security detail for Maduro. When they were bringing them back to Cuba, their bodies were like ash. They were little boxes. They weren't the bodies. That's weird. Like,
did we hit them with like phasers?
What happened to their bodies that they had to like cremate them?
Maybe it could be destroying evidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think they killed you don't think the method that killed them resulted in said
I don't know.
Spontaneous combustion. Dozens of people spontaneously combust each year.
Speaking of Trump.
Well, that was. I mean, the reason I bring it up is because the Sphere Network. That's one of the things that he says in there. Is Patrick Jackson? He talks about the when the spheres communicate, high frequency microwave burst transmissions that, if you're too close to it, can just fucking torch a person into ash. So if we've got some kind of UAP adjacent technology that can hit somebody with a directed energy weapon and basically just fucking fry them in place, that would be interesting. That's an interesting.
Changes warfare quite a bit.
But why would you use your most advanced, like weird stuff in that way? Wouldn't you hold it back for like the big event if you really need it? Or maybe is it just you think they're testing it, or is it just propaganda?
Maybe that's a small display of power to what we can do. So it's not really blowing a whole lot of secrets. Maybe we have a lot bigger than that. So that is not much of a leak to show. Even though it's a powerful statement, but it might be a small part of a bigger weapon system.
Do you guys ever feel like it's only been a month and it feels like it's been a fucking year?
Every day
on Earth?
Every day of the last 10 years.
I feel like we're living in a video game.
We might be.
Danny
said we are. Danny Goller confirmed it, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
And Rizwan Berk also says that, though, by the way.
Yep.
And we're living in a video game?
Yeah.
Are we winning? I don't even know. Are we winning?
It's awful.
I don't think so, dude.
Yeah.
I just want to be on like GTA mode all day, like just commit crimes and nothing happens. Like
Hey, do it.
That's
You'll be
cool.
fine. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
That's bait.
Yeah.
That's bait.
UK's
So what's going
been
on?
in the news a lot, hasn't it? This last week we had the financial lady, and now we have the UK filmmaker who claims he's had inside knowledge of a speech set that's going to be announced by Trump on my birthday as well.
Yeah, this was the other
on
thing,
July
right?
the 8th.
July 8th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, enough people, enough with the dates, please. Enough with the dates.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this Mark Lee guy.
If you give
he's
the
like
backstory, then we'll
TikTok, isn't
dive in.
I asked about him a little bit. He did a Rendlesham documentary, but like he's been hanging out with sort of a TikTok crowd that is very conspiratorial, you could say. They like how TikTok is. They don't really give a shit about accuracy or credibility in any way. They just want to show you the clicky stuff.
Mm.
And he apparently started hanging out with those guys a little while ago, and these guys allegedly brought up like a British alleged whistleblower that was later confirmed that it was just bullshit. So, uh, it depends on the crowd that you hang out with. That's probably the kind of information that you're getting. So that's why I didn't even cover it. It's like, dude, it's just too fantastical, and I don't know. And he's trying to defend himself by saying that he has like all this track record and this career and all that. Yeah, that may be true, but that doesn't mean that you can't get compromised at a certain point, and you start just spewing bullshit.
I could see Trump doing it if he figured out a way to like game the financial side of it. And I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would figure out a way to like, how can I make a lot of money doing this? I'm going to do I'll be the guy.
Truth Social.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we have not really even looked at that. Has anybody looked at that? Is Gerb looked at that? Anybody? That's the weirdest story going right
Get
now.
the team on it.
You get the boys
Yeah,
back
I
at
just
HQ.
I know it's a cliche thing at this point, but I feel like if Trump were going to make an announcement, he would just do it willy nilly the next time he gets behind a microphone. Or I just don't know if he has the ability to wait for like a strategic moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I did report on this because I did have good, reliable source, I think, that they did try to get his attention on it. But that's one thing. Another thing is that, there's a date and there's a speech prepared and all that. It's like, for the most part, what I heard is that they were getting stuff to his desk daily about this information. Tulsi Gabbard was involved in the effort, but the guy was just not paying attention to any of it. He was just worried about getting into Venezuela, the oil. He mentioned oil like 40 times right after they went into Venezuela in the press. Like,
Well, the priority, yeah, you can see the priorities, like what his
Yeah.
priorities are. It's not disclosure.
Everything but Epstein.
It's either that or he's getting stuff on his desk he's seen before at the end of the day. Because there's been a number of people that have said he's been fully briefed. Not all of them are completely crazy. Like we have former space minister from Israel, quite well credentialed person says. I mean, what he said was wild. It really was. But
Yeah.
he's not the only person to say Trump has been fully briefed on it. There was that. I don't know if this is the same source, but the Italian article as well. Alleged that Trump is fully briefed. So maybe
Preserve
he's just
Destiny?
getting stuff on his desk. Sorry
The
again.
Preserve Destiny article?
Yeah.
Yep.
that
Maybe he's
article
just
was an
getting stuff on his
anomaly.
desk.
That article was an anomaly, I think.
The question is like, what, fully briefed means whatever the person who's telling you you're fully briefed wants you to think it means, right? Like how do you actually know if you're fully, no one knows how high up it really goes. I don't believe that these guys in charge of the program who have been like up to and including Dick Cheney, right? Assuming Dick Cheney was the architect or at least in charge of it at some point for a period of time, if the people that he would surround himself with are too smart to tell this fucking clown anything, right? Like the president or not, like this guy is unstable. He's fucking weird. He just says goofy shit all the time. He can't keep his mind on anything. I mean, it's a known fact that they have to put his own fucking name inside his daily briefing and keep it to like 2 pages because he won't even read 3 pages. He's not interested in anything that's not profiting or helping him or his family. And that's not even me being hard on this guy. That is who he is. What he's showing.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
He fucking says it. He's just like, this is what I'm doing. And so yeah, like if disclosure were a priority for him, you would have had it by now.
Dude, that
He
video
went
where
into Venezuela and plucked the man out of his fucking bed.
You just
where
made a
they're
good point.
where they're interviewing him and Lindsey Graham is there in the plane
Oh,
where they're talking to them and Trump is like in the background just lurking and they're asking a question to Lindsey. Lindsey's like smiling because he just like got away with this shit because he's been advocating for it for a while. And then Trump in the background just goes like, and the oil. It's like, and he says it like 4 times in the interview. It's like, dude, have a little, I don't know, decency. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I know what you
pissed
mean.
me off so much. I'm sorry, but
But
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
throughout his presidency, there's for both presidencies, we've heard that he was partially briefed at one point, and then he still wasn't very interested, and then now we hear that he's fully briefed or the full presidential brief. And I think if he cared after that, we would see more change already. So I think he still doesn't care, or he probably has some kind of financial tie to the tech, and that's why keeping it quiet because he has some kind of money being made in the background based
I do
off
think
the recovered tech.
there's something we're fundamentally missing about this because there are evil people, and I'm not going to make any sort of comments about what drives somebody like Trump because I don't know enough about politics or anything like that. But what we're led to believe about this technology is that it's world changing for the better at the end of the day, to the point where money becomes meaningless. But that doesn't mean everybody becomes poor. It kind of means everybody gets to live in abundance. And I feel like we must be missing something somewhere, because if at least some of these high-powered people are briefed and know the gravity of the situation that we face, even people like Elon, sorry, Clint, you've got to be some kind of guy to ignore what could be like a new paradigm for humanity in the face of making money, which is essentially meaningless in that new world anyway. And you don't stand to lose anything except your position in the hierarchy, because essentially we'd be lifting so many people out of poverty and the wage inequality that essentially your place, the only thing you're losing is your place in the pecking order. Right? Like the money is completely pointless. It doesn't matter. It's all about who's top dog. And I'm wondering if it's possible for somebody like that to really truly exist, to think that they must remain at the top no matter what. I
think there's a lot of those guys.
4 billion people.
Those are the guys at the top. You
Perhaps
you
so,
can actually
like,
count them and read their names. Like there's a list.
I just
they're
find
public.
it.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm still trying to make that connection.
Let me give you a little breaking news that I didn't know this until 5 seconds ago. Have you seen this story about that just came out of the Epstein files that got released? Bill Gates caught an STD from a Russian prostitute that he got from Epstein, and then requested antibiotics from Epstein because he didn't want to give his wife an STD. This is the story that's good. It's Bill Gates.
Again, completely believable.
You know,
why not?
like someone wrote to me an email after the Danny Glover episode, and they were like, "You should call these people Epstein class." And I think that is a brilliant idea, because what I found out, the Epstein thing really changed my perception of a lot of different people, like Noam Chomsky. I was a Noam Chomsky fan, but I don't understand why Noam Chomsky needs to be on a jet with Epstein. Bill Gates, I thought he was just a harmless nerd, for the longest time. Not apparently not. I don't know, man. I think when it comes to the paradigm shifting nature of the technology, it's all in the hands of the people who actually deliver the briefing to the president and the way they frame that conversation. If they go to him and they tell him the information, whatever it is, and they explain it in a way that not like you just sold it to us, which is it's a paradigm change. It's going to change everything. It's going to make life better. But they're like, this will destabilize markets. This will cause chaos. This will cause this is the studies we've done on this. We have, probabilities on all these things. We recommend you do nothing, or something like that. That could maybe be more in line with the type of briefing he got, if any. Or maybe it is about the pecking order. Maybe that's the thing. These guys are at the top. Why would they give that up? Why do they want to? They already live in a world where money is meaningless to them.
And everyday experience for them wouldn't change for those people specifically, other than the fact that they wouldn't have to take the 6-hour private jet flight. They would just be able to get there much quicker. But other than that, their life wouldn't change all that much.
And a private jet, it's not that bad, right? Like, could you maybe, save yourself 5 hours by having a faster craft? Maybe, but they're already living pretty good.
It doesn't seem like there's any intention to get that tech to the people to help people. I don't think. I don't feel that one bit. I think it's very clear that tech could do that over the course of a few decades, could transform the planet, but I don't think they're going to give it away. It's going to be monetized and dripped out in slow bits until the Earth explodes.
The first game is going to be like controlling the release of the information in a way that generates maximum profit for a certain group of people. Right. This is like what happened in 9/11, right around the time 9/11 took place. There were all these weird financial transactions that got flagged at the time, but it's been so long now. A lot of people have forgotten about this. But there were billions of dollars that were changing hands based on the financial impact of the 9/11 attacks. And a lot of this, but even before it happened. And then you've got Building 7, which wasn't even hit by anything, and it came down like it was a controlled demolition. So, don't be so quick to think that they would not engineer a big kind of reveal scenario that they could roll out that would have a by the numbers sort of playbook for how they're all going to make money. Who they are, I don't know. The people in charge of disclosure, I guess, the ones holding the information. But they wouldn't let it go for free. You're not going to just throw that card away. You play that card somehow.
And we're talking about China and Russia as well. Like, none of them are giving us the stuff either. So it's not just, this is like a global issue, not just a U.S. issue.
My issue is a big part of my issue with just, in terms of like the politics of all this, is that a lot of the technology that we need to start solving problems here on Earth, we already have. It doesn't require any magical technology to fix a lot of the stuff that's going on here. It just requires money, a budget.
It requires a word that a lot of the world doesn't like, which is the word redistribution.
Yeah.
Is the amount of food that the Western world throws away could quite easily feed everybody on planet Earth several times. It's insane, but there's just not a lot of money in doing that.
I asked
sad.
I asked ChatGPT the other day, if we started right now and we had the ability to, like, what is the best way to take care of all the garbage and landfills and trash at the bottom of the ocean, to help the world? And like the list, the order in which you'd have to like do this stuff was an insurmountable amount of work to do. You know what I mean?
Like what did it say? Say that again.
I don't know why I brought that. Now I forget why I brought it up. Never mind. I lost my thought. 1 second. Go ahead. What just happened?
I don't know.
I had a stroke. Don't worry about it.
I was looking at there was a thing from the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. They moved the doomsday clock, the arms on the doomsday clock,
I saw that.
85 seconds to midnight. We're closer now to global Armageddon than we've ever been, ever. Which is another reason why when Danny Goller was like, "Have you read Steven Pinker's book? It's the greatest time ever to be alive." I was like, I don't know who is he asking?
Gotta disagree heavily on that.
I guess it depends on the metrics you're looking at, but not according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. There was a climate report that just came out that said we're basically in like red alert climate disclosure conference. Let's see, I got to find this thing and I'll find the link. But it was awful news. Just like biosphere is not doing good at all.
Just going back to the why, who would keep such amazing news secret? And I think there's an angle that we don't talk about enough, not as specifically us, but maybe in general, is there's a lot of like, obviously it's quite heavily military and it's a brotherhood. In some senses, it's like a fraternity. And we know that there are, if you need something horrible done, you get the grunts to do it. And then one day those grunts replace you. But at one point in their lives, they were doing despicable things because they were told to do it. Like, there was a story in the UK a long time ago now. David Cameron, former Prime Minister, he was in one of these clubs in one of these very prestigious private schools in the UK, and he joined this club and I think the initiation ceremony to join the club is you had to perform a sex act on a pig's head. And the moment you've done that, you're screwed. Like, everyone that knows you've done that has something on you. And I think that might be the case. Like, you're in one of these programs, you get tasked with all the horrible stuff that if it ever came out, no matter when, like, you're done. And even 30 years down the line, you're then getting the people below you to do it as well, so that you know that they don't have power over you. You have the power over them. And I think that could be the case. Like, we're looking at like this Epstein stuff, and it's a big leap to draw that connection. But how come all of these guys apparently have fallen in this honey trap where Epstein has this crazy amount of swing? And it's all because all of them fucked up real bad and they weren't careful, and like they made really awful decisions. They were probably, many of them maybe coerced into doing awful things. And then all of a sudden, that's it. They're kind of under control by whoever knows.
The talk about those parties is that, you do drinking and drugs for a couple days, and then that leads into like the weirder stuff when you're all fucked up on drugs and you're drunk, and then you make these decisions, and then you're on tape, and then you're just, like you said, then you're just fucked forever. Then you do whatever the bidding is of whoever forever.
So it's not necessarily that
there's so many people were convinced he was Israeli intelligence was because of that, right? Leverage on all these people. Can you imagine the leverage you've got? You got Bill Clinton, you got Bill Gates, you've got, like, just go down the list. President Trump. I mean, who do you want to call? Get on the phone. They're going to pick up. They're going to do whatever you want.
Something new came up about Bill Gates about that today.
Yeah. When you disappeared, we just covered that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool.
I think Diddy is like the American version of that type of honeypot operation, right?
Probably.
Did he?
Yeah.
I just finished that series last night.
Yeah.
Is it good?
On Netflix. Yeah, it's really fun. No, it's horrible. It's a good series.
It's a feel good hit.
Yeah, it's so good, man. I left smiling and happy. No, he's power, fame and money and power is just like, very few people can handle that kind of pressure and responsibility. Like, very, very, very few. I live in Hollywood. I know this. It just it can change so quickly. Like, a really, really good-hearted, centered person with a moral compass can change so quickly with money or fame. It's crazy how quickly it can happen. I mean, you lived in New York for a long time. You must have seen it too with people in I don't know. You must
actually, what's interesting about New York? Well, of all the many things that are interesting about New York, one of the things that I found most interesting is that, and this comes down to that LA New York sort of like friendly rivalry thing. But New Yorkers have to live with each other.
It's more real.
You just have got to. There's one subway, and you got to ride it, and that's it. And whether you're rich or poor, or you're walking. And if you're walking, you could stay in Midtown and never, go anywhere else. But everybody's just there, and it's like you're in this. The city is so tight. You feel like when the weather sucks, it fucks everybody over, and everyone's like, we're kind of in it together. So I didn't really, I never feel that way, but I did know a lot of people who were just weirdly super fucking rich for no reason. Like a couple Russian friends who were just like always loaded all the time, never really worked, didn't have any real job, just owned a fucking building somewhere. It's like had parties all the time, owned a bunch of real estate. Weird stuff.
Import-export business.
Yeah, like just yeah. But in terms of driving people insane, this is my thing, man. Like money and power. You just said it, right? Even on a small at a small level, a low level in Hollywood, just minor fame can drive someone completely crazy. So then why are we knowing that? And we know this, right? Everybody knows somebody who maybe, I don't know, came into some money and then blew it all and went a little crazy, or, maybe somebody won the lotto and just went psycho. It does affect you. So then why are we look at these guys who have billions and billions, like Elon just got $1 trillion pay package. He's the richest human being ever. And you don't think that's going to affect his decision-making process or his ability to have empathy for other people? These are the people shaping the world.
Yeah.
I don't, there's no test you have to take to just become, one of those, if you get to that level, you have no vetting process. You just now have all this power. And that's like a new organism that, I don't know, we have to like have a way to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just let these guys run around and own everything. That's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, here we are.
That's the craziest part, right? And then they can convince half the country. They're like, you know what the problem is? Brown people. Too many brown people. That's the problem. We really need to send in the military and get them out of here.
But it is worth remembering that no matter what somebody's motivations are, somebody like I've already mentioned, but David Cameron, for example, he ran the UK, and yet there were a small number of people in the UK that knew he'd shagged a pig's head, and that story can't hit the news.
It's funny you say shagged, and only in Britain you guys think that's like a bad word.
Yeah.
But yeah, like allegedly the most powerful man in Britain, and probably a few old classmates had a story on him that is worth millions at that point. The story becomes more valuable.
Is that where the Black Mirror episode came from?
Yeah, I think it was inspired by that. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that came out first.
The pilot episode of Black Mirror is that story, basically.
Isn't that what all of these really elite sort of Ivy League level fraternities are about, is getting you into some kind of... Wasn't George Bush Sr. in Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones, yeah.
Where they had to, like, I don't know, jerk each other off inside of a coffin or some weird shit, and then had some kind of, like, dirt on you.
We've all been there, dude. All been there. It's called bonding, brother. Learn about it. Just wait till Austin. I'll show you.
Be gentle. Be gentle. I don't know, man. And then, well, before he went completely insane, Alex Jones did all that stuff on Bohemian Grove.
It's a classic. That
Bohemian
documentary is amazing.
I don't know much about that.
Oh
No.
So imagine
not a lot.
The Epstein people. He got into Bohemian Grove is this place in California where all these like Epstein people, like I'm talking people like that level, Bill Gates, that level people, they all get together and they dress in like cloaks with hoods. They have an owl that they worship. They go out in the woods at night. They light bonfires. They do all kinds of weird stuff. And they stay out there in these like little chateaus, and Alex Jones like snuck in one of his earliest documentaries. You could see him. He's like got a camera and he's like walking through the woods, and he like goes up and somehow manages to get on the property. He bribes a security guard or something, gets on the property.
He pretends to be in Bush's entourage.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
No.
The owl is called Moloch, by the way.
Moloch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It's wild, though.
He recorded an actual session that they were running at the time.
And you never hear about that ever.
Yeah.
You've got the Davos speech that, or presentation or Q&A that Elon did recently, where he talked about Greenland and he talked about Venezuela and all the resources there that they're going after. These guys at this level, I think it is like a fraternity. There's a certain like pecking order, and they have like their roles in society that they play, but generally speaking, they can get each other on the phone. They can call a meeting. They can coordinate with each other about what it is they're trying to do. And if they want to go and take Greenland so that we can get the rare earth minerals so that we can, build robots with them or something like that, they're going to do it. If they want to go into Venezuela and just literally pluck the fucking sitting president out of his bed in the middle of the night and then replace that guy and then take all the oil, they're just going to do it.
And pretty effortlessly.
It's a strange, it's almost a feedback loop, because these guys, they're just, once they've done this thing, they're just kind of, at one point, they're going to be desperate and they're going to make somebody else do it just so that, they're not alone in their shame for the kind of things they've been forced to do by the people that brought them into the fold. And it's like a horrible cycle that was probably started by just one asshole. And since then, it's not really needed much to keep going, because if you're in, you need other people to do it. You can't be alone. You can't be the only guy that shagged the pig's head. Like, you got to have other people do it.
I'll do it, dude.
They just
take them for the team.
To the point, like there's stories of leaders like drugging others to get them to do horrible things as well. There's a really famous one. I can't remember I'll find
There's
what
no
it
limits,
is.
dude. There's no limits to what people will do.
No limits.
Yeah,
that's the most uncomfortable truth. Is like,
if you want something bad enough, yeah,
people will do anything.
It happened during MK Ultra. That's it. One of the lead doctors, he drugged a load of people at a dinner party that he was at. I've got to find some more info on this.
Get it. While you look for that, it's January 30th today, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All day.
Does the new Virginia doc come out? The Counterpoint doc tonight or
Dude,
today?
I think so, but there was a really cool article on the debrief that just came out from Leslie Kane and Ralph Blumenthal, where they talk about the witnesses speaking to the Congress people about the case. Now, and there's a picture of it even. So I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna cover it today later, but I can't wait to hear it, because apparently there's new information there. So,
You mean when they did the press thing?
Yeah, right after.
Yeah,
I found it.
What'd you find?
Sidney Gottlieb, who was the head of the CIA's MK Ultra program. He's the one that drugged Frank Olson, who was then dead 9 days later.
How did he die?
He drugged him with LSD at some sort of dinner table thing. At a retreat in 1953, and he was testing drugs on his friends to see what he could make them do. And no, Frank Olson, I think his death is ruled as a suicide. He jumped out of a hotel window, I believe. Yeah.
Do you think a single dose of LSD could make a person just jump out a window 9 days later?
He wasn't giving them single doses, bro. He was giving them 1,000 micrograms shots, doses. And that's way too much. I know.
It's debated whether or not he managed to throw himself out of the window anyway, to be honest.
I mean, I do have a story about that I haven't told in my channel, of somebody who had less than 1,000, but they did throw themselves out of a third floor window.
Can I just ask, what is it about LSD that makes windows so attractive?
I don't know.
People don't do anything else. When I was growing up, Dan's got the Rare Form Radio DARE t-shirt on. The DARE program, the DARE officer would come to school and teach classes on drugs. And they would always say, if you take acid, you'll jump out a window. They'll just jump off a building. A girl jumped off a building one time, and that was it. And so Don't ever
So
take acid.
let me tell you what happened in my story, because this was something that I experienced firsthand
Mm.
when I was on my wild days in my apartment. We were hanging out, and this guy was somebody new that I did not know about. They just introduced him to me that day because he wanted to just experiment with that stuff, and I had always been very careful about who I shared that with, because I know that it's not for everybody. So when this guy arrived, I was like, "Who's this guy?" And he was a guy from near Tijuana in Mexicali, a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I feel kind of weirded out because I don't know who this guy is. And the person who introduced me to this guy was like, "No, he's good. He's harmless." And I'm like, "Okay." So he had never taken, so he took first one half of a dose, and he started getting impatient after a couple of hours because he said that it didn't hit him. And these hits specifically were really strong. So I was started to get weirded out because he said that he didn't feel anything. He kept saying it, and there was this one moment where he kept insisting that he wanted more, and he took it from the table. I didn't give it to him. He took it from the table, and he just swallowed a whole dose of it. And another 2 hours passed, and I was really worried about the guy, but he just stayed in the couch, not saying anything. And I just kept going to him. And he was, I saw his pupils, they were pitch black, like completely dilated. I was like, this guy's tripping balls, but he doesn't realize it, right?
Mm.
So I was at a different place in the third floor apartment where I was talking to a couple of ladies, and we were talking about how to grab a cigar. And I said the word atorar, which is to grab and just hold on to something, right? Atorar. That's how you translate it. And I said atorar, and in Mexico, when you say atorar, it also means that the cops are after you, or that the cops got you. And this guy was sitting in the couch, and he heard me say that word, and he thought that the cops were onto us and that they were going to break into the house and just take us to jail. So this guy got really freaked out. He started screaming. He went running as I was talking to these ladies in I think it was the washing room. And I just heard screams. Then I just went back to the living room, and the guy wasn't there. And I had two rooms in the end of the flat, and in my room there was nobody, and in the other room there was another friend who was sleeping, and the window was open. And I was like, what just happened? And my friend was like, this guy just jumped. I'm like, what? And I looked out of the window, and nobody was there. And I was like, what the hell? I went out, and I was really alarmed. I was like, what the hell just happened? The guy was already like 200 yards away, running his ass out. And I just screamed at him. I was like, dude, what's going on? And he looked at me. He was really confused. I was like, you just jumped out of the window, dude. What the hell? Are you okay? And I started looking if he had any injuries. Not a scratch. Not a scratch. And I was like, what happened? Like, what? He's like, I thought that the cops were coming after us. And I just looked at the window, and I was like, if I grab myself out of the second floor window, I think I can make it. I wasn't able to, but I fell on the grass and nothing happened to him. So if somebody jumps out of a window with a really strong dose of a psychedelic, it's probably because they were really paranoid about something, and they got alarmed because of that. You're muted, Dan.
Try this at home.
No,
Don't try this.
If you're
Don't
listening,
try it
this
at all.
Oh no, don't. I meant don't.
Yeah. So that's the story of how that happened, and I dodged the bullet because I could have gone to jail if something had happened to this guy. Luckily,
Have you guys
not a scratch.
have you heard about this mushroom that makes people see tiny people?
Yes.
Have you
What?
seen tiny people, Pavel?
Yes.
Is it true?
I've spoken to something with shrooms, to the mushroom. Whoever does shrooms knows about this.
The specific
especially-
no, but this is like a new mushroom that well, not
Yeah.
new, but they've discovered a new
Yeah,
type.
and there's this series on HBO called common side effects where there's little beings literally that appear to people that take this mushroom.
What?
Yes, it's a wonderful series.
Like small humans or small something else?
Small beings that are white and little like this, like, yeah, and they have like little round eyes, and they're always like playful with you when you see them.
So people that take them, people see the same thing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, in real life, I don't know what the little beings are like, but this series depicts them like that. That's what I mean.
No, but Clint is saying the people that take this mushroom see the same.
Here. Here you go.
No
I'm
shit.
sending this to Xander. It's a BBC article. They saw them on their dishes when eating the mushroom, making people hallucinate dozens of tiny humans.
Yes.
Oh, I would freak the fuck out. No way.
Oh yeah.
Every
No
year,
way.
doctors at a hospital in the Yunnan province of China brace themselves for an influx of people with an unusual complaint. The patients come with a strikingly odd symptom. Visions of pint-sized elf-like figures marching under doors, crawling up walls, and clinging to furniture. Wow.
Fuck that. Fuck every bit of that, dude. No way.
Yeah. That's scary.
At a mushroom hot pot restaurant here, the server set a timer for 15 minutes and warned us, don't eat it until the timer goes off or you might see little people, says Colin Domnauer, a doctoral candidate in biology at the University of Utah and Natural History Museum of Utah. The mushroom's called Asiatica, L. Asiatica. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Will you send me that? That's fascinating.
You're going to go talk to your guy. Hey, can you...
Can you get some of these? That would be so strange. Oh my God.
Well, you have to ask, like, is this the same thing as what the laser DMT people, you know, if you take a drug, every time it has this exact same result on every person, then doesn't that mean something deeper is going on?
Does it?
Little
I
people real?
I think it does, but does it? I don't know.
I don't know how a drug could make 300 different people all hallucinate the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Consistently.
Or interact with the same place.
It goes quite a bit further than the lasers, dude. Quite a bit further.
What do you mean?
I'm starting a new series tonight, actually, and it's the whole series is I'm calling it liminal spaces. Liminal rooms. The whole series is about exploring these really difficult parts of ufology to talk about. The first episode is entirely about the hyperdimensional realm and the entities that inhabit it. The connections between what people experience either through psychedelics or via NDEs or deep meditation in some cases, even spontaneous awakening, the connections between those experiences and what people allege happens to them during abductions and other contact experiences. It is staggering how similar everything is.
Well,
not
for
just
example,
the beings.
Tell us. Give us an example.
It's the idea. Okay, the idea of the room bigger on the inside than it should be. Mm-hmm. There's so many cases within abduction stories where that's the case. Even the beings we have, the healers within the hyperdimensional realm. They're sort of these mantis-looking creatures.
Dude,
that was described.
Connection is weird.
That was described by. It's a very interesting story. It is Greer related, but that was described by somebody who's been on one of Greer's retreats. It was mentioned in his film Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, I think it was. He allegedly had a really bad hearing problem. Encountered one of these mantis beings during a meditation session on this retreat with Greer, went to bed, then got called outside by this thing that was talking inside his head. He goes outside, sees an orb way off in the distance that starts talking to him immediately. He interprets it to be the same being. They have a conversation for 45 minutes, and then at the end of the conversation, he says, "You know, can you do anything about my hearing?" And he goes to bed. Next morning, he's at breakfast talking with everybody, and they're all looking at him, and then he realizes he's not wearing his hearing aids, which just wasn't an option for him, and apparently he's not worn them since. But the weird thing is, they took 2 images that night. One of them's a video, one of them's an image. The image is ambiguous, of course. It's a ufology image, so everything's ambiguous. But this weird mantis creature is stood behind this guy in this meditation circle. It's not a great picture. You have to use your imagination. But it's strange that that's described. And also the red orb was also filmed off in the distance. Definitely not a plane or a flare this time. This really was some sort of red orb, because it was below like sky level. It was sort of in the trees. Really interesting case, but that's just one of the very many connections between what people experience in these altered states and abduction and contact experiences.
And there's the whole angle of Carlos Castaneda, who has a bunch of books talking about these, how the experience of reality does change, even for people who don't take these substances. But the person that takes them, it creates some sort of effect in their brain that whenever you get into their bubble of reality, reality does feel different for other people as well. And that's something that happened with Pachita. When people got into her healing sessions, they described that reality felt sort of liquid, that it felt different
In the
because
teachings of Don Juan, Carlos Castaneda is actually one of the first conversations you and I ever had, Pavel. You were like, he's bullshit. You need to look at Greenberg. He's the guy. But I always thought the teachings of Don Juan, that first book that I read was the
great book. It's a
best
great
UAP book.
Yeah, it's a great book.
It doesn't come off that way until after you think about it a little bit. But when the guy, like, he mixes up these potions and basically will like this thing, the little smoke, and then he'll smoke this stuff, and then he goes into this realm that's like the land of wind and ghosts. Like, he's just like this in this sorcerer realm where he can interact with all these other things that are there. It's a weirdly weird overlap between NDEs, close encounters, even people in critical care wards see grays sometimes at the foot of their bed. People in hospice report seeing grays. Children. In the raw material, that book I'm reading right now, rereading it, one of the things it says is like, just the more you meditate, just the more numbers of times you actually just sit down and do the meditation thing, even if you don't do it well, the more you do it, the more stuff you're going to see. Yeah. Like, that's just a fact. You're just going to dial into it and start to have weird experiences over time if you just keep at it. But most people don't. And that's why
you tune the antenna with every meditation.
And kids are already tuned somehow. They get untuned, right?
Yes.
Little children just come ready to go. Like, they just can see things.
They're not clouded yet. Do you guys meditate?
I do.
I don't.
Every day? Okay.
Most days. In the morning.
What is your, like, what do you do?
I wake up at about 4:00 in the morning every day. Sometimes I get up a little earlier, but 4 is about my normal wake up time. I get up, I'll go into the kitchen. I make myself, I have a really basic, like, t-shirt and jeans, like, work ethic about the way I meditate. I make some coffee. I'll smoke a J. I'll go sit in my Eames chair and I'll just close my eyes and meditate. The way I do it is I imagine on the top of my head, I try to perceive the feeling of like a tingle, like goosebumps almost, going in a pattern, like a clockwise sort of swirl on the top of my head. And then once I can kind of get that energy going where I can feel it, I start to bounce it like a ping pong ball between here and here. And if I feel like there's any kind of blockage, I just keep working on that. And then I bounce it down to my chest, and then I start to work it down to my feet. By the time I do this and I get all the way down to my feet, I've usually got like a tingle from head to toe, like a full-on goosebumps kind of situation.
Whoa.
And then when you're there, what I try to do, I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but what I try to do is put myself into the emotional state that I would like to be in for as long as possible, and try to imagine the world around me kind of coming together in a way that keeps me in that heightened positive emotional state. And if I can do that, my day will be great. It just goes really well. Everything works out. Like the parking, I pull into the grocery store, the parking spot is open right up front. You know, I go into the building and my favorite Phil Collins song is on. You know, like anything, whatever it is, it's just things start to happen.
Is that tingle? Is that your method, or you taught that method?
It's a method that I picked up. I don't even remember where I got it from. I might have gotten it from a book, or maybe someone told me, but they were just like, somewhere a long time ago, I heard this little tidbit, and I don't even know if I could place this, but it was that the swirl of where your hair is and your scalp, that the way that little swirl is, that's where the soul enters the body. For children, when a little soul goes into the body, it goes in through that way. And I heard that, and it just kind of stuck with me. And I've always had this. I carried that little, I don't know, little nugget around, and I thought maybe there's something to that. But I'll use binaural beats sometimes. I'll put in headphones. I used to use binaural beats and a mask, and I would lay flat on the floor with a pillow under my head. I would do it that way. I don't know. What do you guys?
Wow.
Do you guys do any meditations at all?
I'm afraid of it.
No.
To be honest with you.
Not since my kid was
Yes.
born.
I'm too impatient. I can't settle into it. I get really bored, and I know it's not supposed to be like fun or exciting, but I just I don't have the focus for it, or at least I haven't honed the focus for it. I should try more.
David Lynch, Transcendental Meditation is. I'm actually going to take the course. I'm going to sign up for the course. This is something I decided to do as a gift to myself. Sign up for the course and take the Transcendental Meditation class through the David Lynch Foundation.
Oh, cool.
And then,
You're going to get your special phrase.
Yeah, I know.
They give you a little phrase, don't they?
Did you do one?
Mantra.
Get your money.
How's the chair?
No, I wouldn't pay personally, but I know about it.
How's the chair?
How's the chair, Clint? The Eames chair.
It's a dream. It's a
I'm so
dream.
happy for you. Are you going to bring it to Austin so we can all use it?
Oh my God, dude, I love my chair so much. It's got that perfect tilt where you lean back and it locks into that perfect tilt where there's no pressure on any of your joints. You just float. Oh, I love it.
You deserve it.
Thanks, man.
A lot of people recommending the Monroe tapes.
Bro, those chairs are so expensive. What the hell?
You
Dude,
got one for free, dude.
You know that story? I did tell you. I manifested that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
when
yeah.
I was meditating. Meditated for about a week on that chair.
Yeah,
Did I tell you the story?
you found it on a.
I was coming home from the park. I'd taken my son and my dog. There's a park around the block from where we live, and I walked to the park with them, and I was coming home on my block. I'm turning the corner, the end of the block. The woman who lives at the end of the block had a guy who was renting a spare room. He was a carpenter who was restoring old furniture. That's what he did. They had a falling out. She was throwing out all his shit, and of the things she was throwing out was an Eames chair that he had been working on, and the associated ottoman, the bookshelf, which I can't show you, but it's over here. Big, beautiful, solid wood. I'm telling you, meditation works. Manifestation works. I don't know how it works. I can't, but it works on specific things too. That's very weird.
Manifestation is absolutely real, without any
Oh, yeah.
question in my mind. Yep.
And think
My
about all the
channel-
negative shit that people manifest all the time when they're in an awful frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah, it's not
channel
just positive
manifested
stuff.
like that.
Yeah.
Psychoactivo manifested like that, so it does work.
Talk about Psychoactivo, man, for a second. Like, how actually did you arrive at this project? I'm curious about that.
Well, I went to Guadalajara when I was in a past relationship. I went with my previous partner on a trip, and when we came back, during a flight, I just started thinking about trying to do something different and trying to talk about all of the psychedelic experience that I had over a decade. And I wanted to just raise awareness for people, just so they knew what not to do, because I made a lot of mistakes. I nearly died, and I wanted to have a space where I could talk about it. And during that flight is where I just started writing shit down. And I didn't know the name then, but I knew that I wanted to make a podcast then. And then right after we landed, I told my former partner, I was like, I'm doing a podcast. She's like, what? And yeah, and like months later, I just started talking to my friends here about doing the podcast, and we just a few weeks after I talked to them, we recorded the first episode, which is not video; it's just audio.
Mm.
We talk about legalization of marijuana in Tijuana, which is basically legal here as well. It's not just in the U.S. Here in Tijuana, it's basically legal. You can buy it at stores and everything. And since then, I just started looking into Grimberg. Um, and I realized that there was like a major overlap between consciousness, psychedelics, and UFOs, and the rest is history.
Isn't that weird? Like I had a weird experience, and it inspired me to start this show. Everybody had, like, you all had your own thing that like got you into this, and then here we all are talking together and somehow connecting with all of these other people. It really did fall into place like that. Like that was something that was just, it was a focus that I had, and I don't know how I like wound up meeting all of you guys, but it just kind of happened. Isn't that fucking weird?
And now we're
It's awesome.
vacationing together.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
little Airbnb in Austin. I can't wait.
I told you guys, I manifested this whole. I mean, I watched Clint and Pavel on something talking to Simon Holland, the three of you, and I saw you two, and I'm like, I love these dudes. I want to know these guys, and reached out to Clint and just said, like, I love your show. I just started a UFO podcast. Would love to chat sometime. And you're like, come on, anytime. And then here we are. So literally,
rest
just like
is history.
I'm like, I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna be friends with these guys. I love these dudes. I'm gonna make this happen, and it did. That's great. Yeah.
What else can we say? That's it.
Yeah.
We have to.
I got news before we leave.
You got tea?
Of course you do.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
this one is very interesting because over a month ago, I did an episode, and I'm going to be quick about it as much as I can because we're over the 2 hours. I did an episode about a Bolivian doctor that allegedly had an experience where he healed a person that seemed Nordic looking and had like androgynous features and was injured in the elbow during a disaster zone time in Bolivia where there were fires. And this doctor aided the person. He did 16 stitches in the person's shoulder, and he said that he experienced telepathy with this person. And it's a really fantastical story. I know. When I reported on it, I knew that they were just claims, but I did say that they allegedly got blood from this person because of the stitches. This guy sent many samples to different universities around the world of this blood, and I already saw a couple of them. And the universities that are involved in this are Santiago de Compostela in Spain, Boston Medical Center in USA. Although that report was kind of weird, it wasn't really that thorough, so that made me the red flags come up a little bit. There was a university in Sao Paulo, another one in La Coruña in Spain, another one in Barcelona, and another one in Bolivia.
It's a lot of fucking
And
blood that came out of this guy.
that's the thing, that when he did the stitches,
Hemophiliac.
How many-
he had a lot, like a lot of different samples. So
Yeah.
the case right now, it's still in relatively early stages, but and there's a lot of people involved already. So I'm not saying that it's anything like huge. I'm gonna link in the description for the episode so you guys can see the whole experience because it's really fantastical. There's UFOs involved. There's grays involved. And it's hard to believe, to be honest with you. But the thing about the DNA test, that's what perked my ears, and I'm just gonna keep following up on it, just so you guys can see. I just wanted to tell you guys how many universities are involved, and that I already saw some of those DNA tests.
Isn't
I
that
already
weird?
saw them. According to somebody who's a molecular biologist that I spoke to, they are very interesting. And that's all I'm willing to say for now.
That is very interesting.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Hey, do you guys have a quick minute for some audience questions real fast? I'm going to go down a list. Okay. Quantum Sheep wants to know Doritos or Pringles, which is the best?
Doritos by a country mile.
Yeah, I'm going Doritos on that one.
Me too.
Yep.
Let's see. No Sparrow 74. Do you think there is a correlation between the helicopter noise, abductees report, helicopter in quotes, and the out-of-body experience? Could this explain the phenomenon of beings going through walls?
I don't know what you mean by the helicopter thing.
I don't either.
Some abductees report a sound of a loud helicopter. Other people talk about like an amp, like a guitar amp.
The buzz, the hum. Yep.
The hum. I don't know. I mean, I've heard people describe the DMT experience of like breaking through as feeling like a whooshing sound and like popping out of the top of your head, and that being kind of similar to abductees describe. Jim Sparks talked about being abducted as he called it being pulled. He was like, I felt like I was being pulled. They'd pull me out of a car. They could pull you out of anywhere you were, in a room, in bed.
They use that a lot. Pull. Yeah, you're right.
Consistently, that one term. So I don't know. Okay. No answer on that. Next question. Dan Goldstein says, is there any update for the Project Gravatar Bob Lazar stuff? I think I know a little bit. Do you guys know anything? Gravatar?
I don't know.
I know
those
it's
guys.
I know it's still working. They're still wrapping it up. What I understand happened was there was I have to be careful how I say this. I talked to Luigi about this, and there was some resistance to this project coming out, and Luigi had to deal with the police.
The police.
There were police.
Yeah, Sting. There was a big reunion. It was great. Sorry, that was awful.
Well, I don't want to get into specifics of what happened, because he can talk about that if he wants. I'm going to have him on, but he said that there was some weird stuff happened, and they had to work with law enforcement to address it, and he thinks it was related to this project, or at least that was the impression I got. So I'm going to have Luigi on to answer your question, Dan Goldstein. We're going to have Luigi on, and we'll get the straight information from him.
I mean, last year at Contact, Luigi was there with his VR goggles, showing everybody, the inside of the craft, and last year, that was May of last year, and he thought it was coming out in August of that year. So we are eagerly awaiting.
I know that he's like, the work is amazing. I think we've all here seen bits and pieces of it in various stages of completion, but it is stunning. I mean, I don't think they're not going to not release this. This isn't going to go away.
No.
There's too much in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Brian Park, TR3B, another question. Has the abduction phenomenon fallen out of favor? Is the program completed, perhaps?
May I?
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I did an interview for Others from Another Mother with a girl named Mackie Albertson. And she has a YouTube page with her partner, Amanda. It's called Mackie and Amanda. They have 580,000 subscribers on YouTube. And they go to like haunted houses and a haunted hotel, and it's all ghost related. I've never heard of them before. Mackie, they put out a video, and Mackie talked about how a few weeks ago, she woke up at 5 a.m. She knows nothing about UFOs and aliens. She woke up at 5 a.m, and there was a nearly 7-foot tall alien standing in her room looking at her. And the way she tells it is so loose and light and like what the fuck was going on? It wasn't like heavy and dramatic. I love the way she described it, and she got a telepathic communication. And the way she described it hit me so hard, because it was exactly what I felt when I had that experience for myself. So I interviewed her, and there's definitely some kind of abduction connection to what happened to her, because when she was 8 years old, she had a missing time experience. And like when this being talked to her a few weeks ago, it said, "We're just observing you. We've always been here." And the moment it said, "We've always been here," she was like, "That's what happened when I was 8. It basically told her, "We've been with you since you were a kid." I can't wait for people to see it. We talked for almost 2 hours. It was a great conversation. And like, again, she knows nothing about aliens and UFOs, but I knew what she was going to say before she even said it, with almost everything that she experienced. It was fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. It should be out in a couple of days. I can't wait for people to hear it. It was such a cool chat.
I have to watch. You sent me the original video that she put
Yes.
out. I have to watch that.
It's 20 minutes. Look up Mackie and Amanda. It's the last 2 videos. She had the experience, and then a couple days later, she went and had a hypnosis regression session, which I do have issues with. I when you watch, she posted the hypnosis session as well. I definitely have some issues with the way that was done, and I reached out to a couple therapists and hypnotists, and they said it's kind of a clunky thing, but still, her initial story is pretty fascinating. And then come to find out, she's been having poltergeist experiences her whole life, and her dad had experience with missing time and a UFO many years ago in Oregon, and she didn't know that until her story. I mean, it's a wild talk. I can't wait for people to check it out.
I think going back to the kind of the spirit of what that person I think was driving at is I think the abduction issue has been put on the back burner for a while. I don't think they want to go there right now in terms of like the official government conversation or whatever official, discussion is going on. Like no one wants to go there yet because like that would be leading with the darkest, scariest thing. They want to, whatever happens, they're going to get to that part after disclosure if they ever get to it.
The moment they disclose that UFOs and aliens are a real thing, that will lead to 100,000 questions. When you mention abductions, that's 100 million more questions you're going to get.
Easy.
And the biggest one will be, how do you protect us from that? And the answer is, oh yeah, we don't. It's a tough conversation to have.
The reason they're doing it is because we made a deal with them and we told them they were allowed. What if they had to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to make a deal with them, and then
we sold you out.
We sold you guys out. They were supposed to only take a few hundred people a year, but now they're taking way more than that.
Our bad. Whoopsie, our bad.
Whoopsie. One question.
And they want fucking amnesty, dude. Come on.
Well, let's see what we know first. That's we don't have to give amnesty away up front. We could just say like, okay, let's see what we find out first. I don't know. If it's about, I guess what I'm saying is there are 2 different things with the amnesty question. There is whistleblower protections, which is what I'm in favor of. Whistleblowers should get complete blanket protections. They should have a stipend. They should have some kind of medical care. They need to be taken so that they can safely walk forward, tell their story, and not go into bankruptcy or go become homeless because they just have no future prospects. Amnesty, when I say amnesty, I'm talking about if we did find out everything there is to know, and we've got everything from 4-star generals all the way down to enlisted guys that have done really shady shit in the service of this big giant lie. That's where I'm like, well, let's hold up. Let's take this on a case by case kind of basis before we just start handing everybody amnesty. Let's find out what exactly went on.
I like your approach.
I don't know. Seems pragmatic enough.
Yeah.
Next time we talk, guys, we're gonna face to face anyway. We'll be in Austin.
Can't wait.
I'll be away, but if you guys do a live stream, I'll definitely jump in.
We'll be there. We'll do a live stream from some Tex-Mex place. We gotta.
I'm so excited, guys.
Get some barbecue.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Me too, man. Super excited.
I like usually in the week before I fly anywhere, I dream of nothing but either flying or what I'm doing while I'm on holiday, and it's always just horrible stuff that makes me anxious. So I'm in that phase at the moment.
Cool.
It's like the plane like doing crazy maneuvers and stuff like that. Like I'm not sleeping well right now.
For your flight, because your flight's gonna be how long is it?
Yeah, that is that 10 and a half hour flight.
Dude, and you got to come back in May for contact.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you're gonna have so much turbulence.
That's just mean.
Don't give him an anxiety attack.
What I meant was it's gonna be so scary.
And Pavel, are you the podcast you're going to be on? You're coming to my town, right?
Yes, sir.
Whose podcast are you going to be on?
I can now tell you officially that I was invited to Matt Bell's podcast in Sarasota, Florida. We're still working on a date, but I got the official formal invitation. So
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah,
be in
dude.
Sarasota. I think it's gonna be probably. We still haven't agreed on a date, but probably mid March, something like that. So I think what I'm gonna try and do, because he has dinner with people before the podcast. What I'm gonna tell him is that let's hang out with Clint too, and we can hang out just before the podcast and just hang out there. Have a few drinks, laugh, um, have a toast for our ancestors, all that shit.
Live,
Love
laugh,
that.
love.
You're talking about the Demistus
No, it's Matt Bell Limitless podcast. It's like,
Limitless podcast. Hang on a second.
yeah.
Limitless. Yeah, I didn't know he was here.
Yeah, and I already told him. I'm like, dude, Clint is there, and he's we know that guy. Like he's part of the community. So maybe hopefully in the future you can also be there. It's a really cool. He's like really accommodating, and he's really open minded about a lot of different things. I really like his show. He deals
Just
with
a
a lot
warning.
of yeah.
Just a warning, Clint. When you meet Pavel, he gets a little handsy. So just keep your guard up.
That's what they told me
Keep your
about you.
And they were right. Yeah,
They were right.
they were right.
Oh my god. Well, that's so cool, man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
When you get out here, we'll go have some delicious food. There's tons of awesome restaurants out here.
Yes,
It'll be fun.
yes.
All right. I guess we got to wrap it up there, guys. It's 4:15 Eastern time. I gotta go.
Loved all.
Thanks for watching, everybody at home. Thanks for participating in our chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry if we didn't get to your question today. I apologize. We were kind of on a roll, so we were just sticking with that, seeing how far we
I
could
love the
take it.
listener questions. Those are good.
Eric Schlimmer sent a super chat. By the way, I can't forget our super chats. Greetings, Doomer colleagues and all Doomers far and wide. Sorry I could not make it today. Have a great stream. UAP Gerb. Hey, thanks, Gerb. I love the Doomers. And he sent a little heart. Paul Hellier, ex-Canadian defense minister, claimed to. Oh, yeah. All right, we'll have to come back to that one next time. Okay, guys, that's it for us. We'll see you next week. We're going to be in Austin. We're going to be doing some live streams. We're going to be talking to people. We're going to maybe talk to, I don't know, Chris, maybe Jesse. We'll see what happens. I can't say now. It's all too soon. And it's all just crazy. We'll see if Xander makes it across the ocean on his turbulent flight. Hopefully he doesn't have
Damn it.
Sorry, Xander. And
I'm not even afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of flying. It's just, dude.
Keep repeating it.
watch that Twilight Zone with, what is it called? Terror at 30,000
Oh,
feet.
yeah. Yeah.
Remember that? All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go to teamnightshift.com. Check us out there. Don't forget to check us out on our Discord community. You can go to the Team Night Shift subreddit on Reddit. You can also check us out, where else? Everywhere fine podcasts are streamed. And that's it for now. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And keep looking up, everybody.